Hey everybody, welcome back to Majestic Collectibles. So we got some antique mall and flea market finds. One on vacation back in October, about a month ago. First couple weeks in October, we drove from central Iowa down to Gatlinburg, Tennessee, back up to Columbus, Ohio, and kind of made a big loop back to Iowa then. So I picked up a few things, stopped at a lot of places. Didn't buy a lot of stuff, but I did pick up a few things, and this batch here is from the Springfield Antique Center, and this is in Springfield, Ohio. It's just west of Columbus. I don't know, maybe an hour, I want to say. Somewhere in there, an hour west of Columbus, Ohio. So, you know, heading on towards Indianapolis and so on and so forth. So there's going to be another video. This one, we're just going to do the Springfield Antique Center because it's where I bought the most stuff. And really enjoyed it. Great building, large building, well organized, very clean. Got to tell you, some of the best prices. I think it was the all-time best prices on the whole trip. I spent a little over $200 with tax, title, and license. Here I picked up Sabrina from the Archie comic series. Oh, there it is. Oh, I did it the wrong. Oh, there it is. It's got Jughead face in the bottom there on that. Picked one, well, here, 1971. So let me show you this one. I thought I normally don't buy these character glasses, but Sabrina's stuff is always popular, and finding good, clean, high-grade, high-quality Sabrina collectibles is not that easy. And this place had a ton of stuff I didn't see anywhere else, especially in the pop culture stuff. So there we go. This glass probably was hand washed. This one's got a little bit better color. I don't think it was ever used or washed. It's just a little brighter color on it. So of course, you know, in the antique mall and antiquing, this happens sometime. This was $8 for the one that isn't as good. This was $6. So the nicer one was a little cheaper. So, you know, when you do a lot of shop and see a lot of vendors, stuff like that, that happens sometimes, although not very often. But I thought those are pretty cool. Chad, I know you're watching this, so let me know if you need a Sabrina glass or not. Just give me a holler. I don't know what I'm going to price them at yet. For you, probably super duper high. I mean, reasonable. This one was for me. I'm normally not into this, but this has this is kind of the era when I was still reading Batman. I didn't realize right away this is a little newer than I thought. I thought this was like around 1982. It's actually from 1989. So that was a bit of a bummer. I think the set was like, gosh, what was it? $12, $14. It was open, but it's got the crayons, which is interesting, because was it this one? I think part of it was, whoops, I think part of it was colored, if I remember right. But that's the art style. I don't know if this was Jim Aparo, maybe. You can see the copyright down there in 1989. But this is basically the Batman style of comics. From the late 70s through the late 80s that I grew up with. Oh, there it is. Man, I wish I could color that good too. I mean, this isn't like, you know, for the Louvre, but better than I could do. So just partially used. But I love the art on it. I guess now because of my age, it's old school art, vintage art. I don't know what you call it, but it's definitely there, and it looks like all the sheets are there. So that's all the coloring sheets, and gives you a coloring guide on it, which that's kind of cool. I'm not going to color it. Well, I shouldn't say that. I might color it. We'll see. So the rest of this is kind of a mix of comic books and a few pulp magazines. And you can tell by the vendor labels. I bought a lot of them from, what is that? Jeffrey's Antiques, I guess it is, was a vendor in the antique mall. And $3. Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. It's a little later issue, so it's not super good. Now, one thing that's tough, especially in the comics, you can usually see them and take them out. When you buy a bunch of these cheap ones, I gotta tell you, unless you want to stand there all day, you just kind of hope that the centerfolds are in there, and you can kind of tell by feel. Now, this not super high grade. It's probably only a good, but for $3, I don't know. There's a lot of collectors of some of this TV stuff. So even lower grade, I think I should be able to do make a little bit on them. I don't know. I guess I'm going to find out. Invaders #2, sci-fi UFO stuff. Man, it's just good. It keeps getting hotter. Classics Illustrated, that's a giant special issue series, again for $3, lower grade, who cares. Here's actually a fairly nice looking Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Probably close to fine on that. Not a hard issue to find, but actually fairly nice shape. Good solid VG. So for $5, and that was you can see Springfield Antique Center. So that was their house label. So that wasn't. I'll move that over here. That wasn't by the Jeffries Antiques guy. It was a different vendor. A nice little X-Men for $5, number 148. In fact, I'm going to take that out just to make sure I wasn't fooling myself too bad. No, that's a nice. Well, that's a nice book. Page quality, and I've talked about this before, and this is something when I get to the other video I'll talk about again. I found some nice stuff. And brittleness and dark pages, dark tan pages, yeah, kept me from buying actually quite a few books out there. And they weren't super old books either. They were a lot of Bronze Age stuff, and even some Copper Age is getting really dark. So that for $5, really sharp book. Here's another one, Marvel Chillers. That Marvel horror stuff sells. Boy, you can see, I don't know if you can see it there. Boy, that's really turning that sinus infection green. But the book, look at that, man. Nice clean book. Marvel Chillers, so an early Tiger, earlier Bronze Age. Again, good paper quality. And I didn't take these out, so this is the first time I'm seeing these too. Everything's tight on it. So, $5. Those always sell. I know I've had a few before. I think Paulina and another collection earlier this year. Those Red Sonjas and those Marvel features, yeah, they really sell. Now this is another, looks like a really crummy sleeve. And oh, somebody put the arrival date right there. Still pretty nice book. Pretty good paper quality. And you can usually tell, yeah, tight centerfold, so very happy. You can usually tell up here, when you get to the old comics, they're all tanned a little bit. But if they start getting dark, they start looking like, the old paper grocery bag color brown. Oh, yikes, I don't know what to tell you. Be careful with them. Here's another popular book. I don't know, this is one that always seems to go above guide, and boy, there's another stinker sleeve. Real nice and clean, beautiful painted cover. I don't know if it'll make fine, but it would probably be close. Land of the Giants, again, there's a piece missing. $5 for a number 1, I'll take that. Charlton, Space Adventures, I have this one, not the best shape. There's Jim Aparo, just not Batman, but still, it's stuff that's really picking up steam. Here's a title. Yeah, we're going to be talking about this for both videos. Tape pull or an abrasion there, $3. Great, I was going to say fantastic art, but anyway. Gosh, they're just so hard to get. Savage Sword, I don't buy a lot of these. I actually don't have a ton of luck, but these things, let me show you. And they had quite a few of them. It's got the Norm cover, who actually is a popular artist. But again, just very, very clean copies. And we're going to go through a bunch of them here. And these are all just really, really sharp. Usually I get them, they're pretty beat up. And that is a duplicate there. I didn't care. There's a water stain up there. But still, yeah, highly presentable. And these aren't super low numbers. What are we at? 24. I think the other ones were in the 30s. It looks like we're going backwards. We'll see how low we get. Well, there's a red Sonya cover for $5 on a clean Savage Sword. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. So that was a really, really good find. I was very pleased with all of these. It was a booth that it's really odd. So I stopped at Heart of Ohio, ginormous famous antique mall, probably half hour away from this one. I don't know, be close, 20 minutes. And we spent like 2.5 hours there. I couldn't find anything for comics or really collectible paper. And what was there was very, very low quality. It was just bad, just really horrible stuff, really high priced. Pulps, I used to have really super good luck heading out east, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia's, Kentucky, Tennessee, finding pulps. I gotta tell you, this is the only batch on the whole trip, and we must have stopped at over 20 flea markets and antique malls, easily 20. And this was it. And they were at least nice. You get a lot of MBCs or no back covers. And they're not super old, but there's the pages again. To have pages even on these newer pulps, 1952, that are that nice, pretty hard to turn down for that price. There's an action. He had a ton of those, which I did see a lot of Superman stuff. And you noticed in that Sioux Falls collection, previous videos, I had a lot of it. But it's a nice clean copy. It has Supergirl on it. There's, I don't know if that's a, I don't know what that is. Some type of coffee cup stain or something. Classics Junior. I do have collectors for Classics Junior. Not going to make a ton. But if they're clean, I usually try and pick them up and just throw them in the pile. So that's probably more filler stuff. Here's a really, really neat book. $5. No kidding. $5. Santa Claus Parade. I'm going to take it out. Sleeve isn't that old. White cover, but not bad on the soiling. Cover's a little bit misglued, which is typical. This is 1951. Jingle Bell and the Eskimos, just kind of, I'm assuming these are reprints. I honestly don't know, because I've never had this issue before. I've had a lot of Santa Claus issues, but to pick that up for $5, Ziff Davis, which is not a common publisher, I don't see a ton of those. Golly, that could be the best pickup of the stack right there, would be the Santa Claus one. Another Invaders book, right there, number 3. This one's actually pretty nice shape. And it was a little more, you can see it was $10. It has a newer sleeve, so I don't know if it just came in or it got re-sleeved, I'm not sure. But when they're in this shape, I'm just telling you, good pickup for $10. I'm patting myself on the back. I get it. You guys can leave your comments and tell me how Fruit Loopy I am on some of this stuff. That's fine, but I'm very happy with that one. Turok, little later Turok, number 100, so a milestone issue. $3. I mean, shoot, $3 for a fine Turok. I'll take that. Now here we got some more pulps here. And I just bought them because I never saw them. The condition's okay. They're all $10 a piece. A lot of chipping along the side. So that's pretty typical of that. But still, these are above average shape. And most of these will just go in my collection, I think. Because I don't know. I don't have a big market. I just don't find them. I don't know if there's a market around here or not on a lot of this pulp stuff on it. But again, just clean, 1953, so not super old, not World War II. Got a nice cover on that, startling stories on that one. another 53 issue. So, you know, at least for me, I kind of came out on that one. I thought, you know, I'm going to buy something for myself, and I picked the pulps pretty much for the most part. And here we go, the last couple issues. Marvel Premiere. This was Doctor Who's first comic appearance in the U.S. He had some stuff, obviously, in the U.K., England, and things. These, you know, for $5, have a hard time finding them. Used to be super duper common. And now I just get beat up ones, and I'm telling you, there's one little doink. I don't know if it's a cut or a scrape. Paper quality's not the best. It's a little dark, to be honest with you, at least compared to what I get around here. But gosh, overall, fantastically clean books for $5. You know, I think you got to be pushing VF on them, I would say. And they look like everything's in there and attached. So that's it. That's the first batch at my vacation flea market, I guess in this case antique mall finds. So, you know, Springfield Antique Mall in Springfield, Ohio. If you ever get through there, highly recommend it. Lots of cool stuff, not just comics and pulps. Save yourself about 2 hours. Maybe a little more. Can't speak highly of it. Staff was fantastic. So that's it for this one. Check out that other video that's coming up, and thanks for watching.